Okay. Good.
Ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to episode number 243 of the Keep Up Podcast.
Where if you look in your glove compartment, you'll see one of our faces smiling back at you.
That is so scary.
It really is.
Oh my God.
Honestly terrifying to think.
It's so scary.
What would be the scariest place to see a face?
Behind you in the rearview mirror.
Why would you say that? So in a car.
Yeah,
It's
in a car. It's always in a car. If you don't know it's there, or a mirror, the closing mirror trope works every time for a reason.
Does it though?
Yeah. Yeah,
I guess so. Yeah.
You're in the bathroom and you close the mirror and there's someone behind you.
Yeah.
You don't poop.
I don't try to poop.
Yeah.
But I will say
That's the point. You're not trying.
right.
But
if it happens.
I've never defecated out of fear.
No. I farted out of fear? No, I don't think I've done that either. Not yet anyway.
Have
Farted out of fear.
I don't like that.
You're not a fan of that?
The Tim Martin story.
Brett,
Farted out of fear.
don't say my full name. People will kill us.
I didn't, dude.
They will kill us.
I abbreviated your first name.
That's my whole
They'll never know your full name.
Never. I don't know if that's a scary thing on the internet anymore. Having your full name out there.
I don't know. Mine's all over the place.
Yeah.
Well, because of social media, it's everywhere.
Right. It's just kind of
already. Yeah.
It's already out there.
Yeah. I want your name to be known worldwide, Tim.
Well, we can't escape it now.
That's why I started this podcast for you.
So
make sure
everyone can hear my name.
Exactly.
That is my name.
Speaking of Tim's name.
Yes.
Welcome to the Keep Up Podcast, where I'm Brett and Tim is Tim.
That's me.
We talk about all the things we consume, be it media or food.
Or in today's case,
Yeah.
water.
Water.
This podcast brought to you by H2O.
Imagine being sponsored by just the world's greatest resource. Tim drinks aggressively.
Who? Woo.
Wow.
The real question is, Brett,
What is it?
what water company would you want to be sponsored by?
Fiji.
Fiji?
Yeah. Because it's delicious, but too expensive.
Right.
So I want it for free.
I gotcha.
Right?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Not that a sponsorship always hooks it up that way, but
right.
sometimes.
Yeah.
If it's that kind of sponsorship, that's what I want.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'd pick Poland Springs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
A classic decision.
Yeah, I feel like Poland Springs is just the superior because you have Aquafina and
Yep.
Dasani. That's worldwide. Everyone knows that.
Dasani's good.
Dasani's salty.
Is it?
Yeah. If you look at it, it's got 2% salt or something.
Maybe I'm remembering incorrectly. Maybe
I don't know.
Dasani's not good.
Well, it could be. I mean, you have your own taste.
I do. That's true.
And you have your own mouth.
Can confirm.
And you can taste with that mouth.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That is it.
Mm-hmm.
That is it.
that's it.
Dude, my energy was off in the last episode.
Why?
I don't know.
I thought you were good.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
You know what else is good?
What?
Following us all over the place at the Keep Up Podcast.
What? What?
You can find us on Instagram and on TikTok and on YouTube at the Keep Up Podcast. And you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/keepup and get yourself some little extras. We're recording the Keep Up in Cricket City, which is our Patreon exclusive podcast today.
Mm-hmm.
So
we did our food challenges last week.
Oh my gosh, dude. I felt those, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know if you did.
No.
The second one in particular.
No, it was the first one that got me.
Really?
No, I don't know.
Right.
The second one was pretty brutal. It was a fun one though.
It was fun.
I liked that.
I liked that one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like to make other versions of that type of challenge.
Yeah, I think I could do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
You
I believe
believe?
you could.
I am at the tail end of my sickness.
Oh, good.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
In fact, this morning,
Mm-hmm.
it was 6:10 a.m. in the morning.
Good.
I woke up and my throat felt like it was closed.
Ew.
Like there was just something latching onto me. So I just went into this coughing fit to get it out. I was like for a while.
Yep.
And eventually it came flying out. It was like a hardened, crusty piece of mucus that must have been in my throat for 3 days.
Wow.
And I was coughing up a lot of gunk.
Couple things.
Yep.
Here. One, I hate this story so much.
You should.
And the second one is I've never been happier to be sitting right next to you.
Yeah. Nice and healthy.
Potentially using the mic that you used last time we recorded.
Yeah. And it hasn't been that long. I was whatever I have. I don't know if it's sickness or in health, whatever it was. But yeah, that mucus was freaking.
I'm glad you got it out.
It felt like a face hugger, but in reverse. You know how they put eggs in you? The egg was coming out.
Oh my gosh. Well, they got to come out eventually.
Right.
Yeah, whatever Rach and I had and the kids is still lingering too. It's
Really?
like this long, really annoying. Yeah, it's similar to that. Like you'll wake up a little less like body horror, but we'll wake up with like something in our throat, and then
you guys collectively all spit in the sink.
Yeah, it's like a family thing.
Yeah, your
that
morning
we do.
ritual.
I hate this so much. So I have listen, I got movies to talk about.
Yeah.
I got a book to talk about.
You just want to get out of here.
I will do anything to get away from what's happening right now.
All right, I guess we'll go. Let's go to TV quickly.
Okay, let's go to quickly TV.
Speed. And hi everybody. Welcome
Hello,
in.
chat.
Gino's the special baby. Ready, Brett?
Yeah.
We're gonna do every other word.
Okay.
Thanks,
Gino,
for
being
the
best
baby
we've
ever
seen.
and
Also,
if
you
love
cats
very
much
don't
ever
leave
a cat. Shoot, I said 2 words.
dog
Alone.
with
A
gator.
cat. Okay.
I don't know what we said, but thank you for being the special baby of the
It
stream.
was meant only positively.
Oh,
Whatever.
there you go. Protect your cats.
Oh,
Jones, welcome in. Jesse, welcome in. Yes, we are doing a Monday afternoon podcast.
yes.
Timing led us to this moment, but I appreciate everyone being here for it. How do you do? I will now be part of an elite club. Oh, yes. Gino redeemed Make Me a Command. Do you have a command? I don't think you have a command.
I don't think so.
It's where people can make stuff happen. But Gino finally did it. Exclamation point. I think his was going to be sunset.
Ooh.
But yeah, I hope everyone's having a good day.
Great day.
We're going to jump into the next part.
We are.
But, feel free to yell things at us that we want to talk about.
Please do.
Okay.
Huh?
Ready.
Okay.
We're
Here we
good. Hi, television.
What up?
Awesome.
Okay.
So I have been on this kick of watching things
Okay.
with my eyeballs.
I do know that about you.
Yeah.
Because you went through a movie extravaganza.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and now you've shifted over to television.
No, I just watched this during my movie extravaganza.
Oh, okay.
Well, after. So, for a long time, I've been wanting to watch the movie Jack Reacher. So I watched it. It was good.
That's the Tom Cruise one?
Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So they had a show on Amazon Prime called Reacher.
Reacher, yeah.
Did you watch it?
No.
You watched Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan.
And you loved that.
I did. Seasons 1 and 2.
Uh-huh.
We started season 3, and it's so... You know how those shows, like, you don't get to know what's happening because it's just so confusing, and I've never been a government official.
No,
so
not
I don't
at
know
all.
what the hell they're talking about.
Nope.
But by the end, you should be, like, pretty into it.
Yeah, you could be a government official.
Right.
by
You
the
would
end.
you know everything by then. So
Right.
we're 3 episodes deep on that one and pretty confused. But it's still enjoyable, but you are correct. Seasons 1 and 2 I loved. Reacher I haven't touched yet.
Okay. Well, Reacher is fan-freaking-tastic.
Really?
It's super good. I think Prime is one of those, what do you call it? Subscription services, networks, if you will, that I think has just such consistently good content.
There's a lot on there.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff.
Like every time I look, I'm like, oh yeah, this show was good. This show was good. Invincible.
Yeah.
What's the superhero one called? The murder one?
Oh, I still haven't watched it, but The Boys.
The Boys, yeah. You haven't watched any of it?
Marvelous Mrs. Maisel is
Yep.
also incredible.
Yeah. Like they just have really good content.
Yeah.
So Reacher falls right into that vein.
Cool.
Yeah, it's essentially it's based off one book. It's called The Cough Chronicles. No, I forgot what the book was actually at this point. It doesn't matter.
I can't believe you even brought it up. The odds of you remembering the name of the book. I feel
No,
like.
but people might be curious if it's an original story or follows the book, because apparently there's a ton of books.
No, you're right. It made a lot of sense for you to bring it up, actually. And
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that whole I'm surprised you brought it up thing back there.
Great. And Brett has his phone.
I just got a text from my wife.
Oh my God, Brett has a wife. Everybody.
Let me
Gross.
Read it. Let me read it.
Goodies.
Oh no, it's bad news.
Oh God. Live on the podcast.
Oh,
what
shoot. Oh no, it's double bad news.
Do we have to end?
No, everyone's safe. Except my bank account.
Oh no. Dude, you can't wake up one day without the bank account being in the negative.
I know. All right, carry on.
Well,
So Jack Reacher's based on a book,
yes.
which it's a series, right?
Yeah.
Do you know? Is this like a?
I would say it's like James Bond, where it's a bunch of like stories that are not necessarily connected. There's always like the connecting points, but not where it's one overarching story. It's a bunch of like misadventures, if you will.
Yeah. Okay.
But the book usually it contains its own story in that regard. So the show just takes place as similar to the movie, actually, where he just arrives somewhere and the like local police need to find him for some reason.
Yeah.
And he has no identity, no nothing, because he was a military police officer, which I didn't even know was a job.
I have definitely heard that like status before.
Yeah.
And I don't know what.
It's essentially like someone who keeps the people in the Marines or Army or whatever in check, like a police officer would for citizens. But so that's just an interesting job. I didn't know that was something that
military police officer.
Yeah.
How come they don't have police officers?
That is
carry on.
That's a great. Is that the FBI?
I don't know.
But who watches the FBI? Who watches the Watchmen?
Who watches the Watchmen?
That's a question as old as man itself. But yeah, so Reacher is a very James Bond type where he's just like doesn't really care about what anybody says, does his own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the show is just, I don't know, it's so intriguing. And Jack as a character is super fascinating because again, he doesn't care about anything.
Yeah.
But it's funny to see when he does care or like his way of showing he cares, but he's like a brick wall almost. Like it's talking to a brick wall because he has emotions, but again, it's all like very rare when you see it come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the season itself is really fascinating. It's about a string of murders that happen in a quiet town in the middle of friggin' Mississippi. Like it's just in the middle of the bayou, if you will. And yeah, so he gets blamed for the murders and he has to prove his innocence. With a little bit of detective work, a little bit of romance, a little bit of murder.
Whoa.
He murders to get to the bottom of it. But those murders aren't a little bit of Daisy in my life.
Daisy?
Yeah. The Mickey Mouse version.
One. Still weird.
It's a weird one.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just really good. I found it entertaining all the way through. 8 episodes. It is mature. You need an adult supervision
with you.
to watch it.
Yeah, okay, good to know.
Both in the murders and the well, let's just say there's one in particular that's like, ooh,
that you watched a couple times.
That I no, I hope not. No, some guy gets like his wiener, let's just say.
Oh, just to keep it cryptic.
Yes.
Let's call it a wiener.
Let's call it. You never heard of a wiener before.
Let's just call it a wiener.
Oh, you never seen it. It gets stapled.
So what part of the scene are you trying to avoid?
All of it.
Because it sounds like we kind of know what to expect at this point.
I just want people to be aware. You see stuff that you may not see on other things.
It's weird that you watched that scene a bunch of times, but
yeah. Well, I want to see how detailed it was.
Did you see
want to see how the special effects were.
Have you watched Terminal List yet? With Chris Pratt?
Mm-mm.
Dude, the violence in that movie show in that
movie show.
Movie films. I said that one time.
And it's forever.
The violence in that show is so shocking.
Really?
Like one scene in particular, I was like, it's like Daredevil level violence.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, I guess I'm not surprised. And I know The Boys and stuff, so like
yeah, The Boys probably still take the cake as like the most crazy violent stuff.
What kind of cake is it?
Red Velvet.
Okay.
For blood.
Red Velvet?
Brett Velvet.
Brett Velvet. That's my wrestler name. Brett Velvet.
What would you do?
I would just wear like velvet everything.
That would be the worst clothing choice.
It'd be so bad, dude. It'd be so uncomfortable.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, goodness indeed.
But Reacher, worth a watch.
Okay.
If you're looking for a good detective thriller.
Yeah.
With violence.
We love that.
Yep.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching a lot of Powerpuff Girls.
Okay, I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Me neither.
Uh-huh.
We were just chilling the other day and I put out an episode and Rachel and I both like love the Powerpuff Girls.
They're awesome.
And it's so funny revisiting the earlier episodes. There's one in particular where these 3 like big hairy criminal dudes pose as the Powerpuff Girls.
It's one of the funniest episodes.
It's so, dude, we were laughing out loud. It's so good.
And people still think it's them, right? Like they're
yes, everybody's like, "Oh, Powerpuff Girls!" Like the mayor just gives them everything they want, and they like walk into a bank. The best part of that episode is when they're in jail and the camera is just panning the prison cell, and he's like, if only there was something in here that we could use to look like the Powerpuff Girls. And the last thing the camera pans over is a rack that has 3 Powerpuff Girl costumes that perfectly fit them. It's so funny.
It's like so classic.
I love
humor.
it so much.
Cartoons can get away with all kinds of good stuff.
I know. So that's it. That's what TV's been for me.
Did you get to the clown episode?
No, I don't think so.
The one where the color disappears?
Nope.
That one's classic.
Last one we watched was the Amoeba Boys.
Nice.
Which is great.
Gross.
Well, actually, the last 2 was the Amoeba Boys and the first time you meet him. And him is legitimately, I remember as a kid watching it and being like, that's a scary villain.
That's not the time travel episode, is it?
Not time travel, no.
Okay.
It's when him possesses Octi.
Yeah.
This little octopus.
Yeah, it's
animal.
scary.
Dude, so scary.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. We've been watching Powerpuff Girls.
Good. Are you going to watch the movie?
What movie?
There's a Powerpuff Girls movie.
Oh, yeah, I think it's on Netflix, actually. Mm-hmm. So probably.
Because I saw that in theaters.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I want to do that.
It was a good time. And it had a Dexter's Lab short in front of it.
Oh, really?
In the theater.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
There's a quick scene in one of the episodes where it's nap time and Dexter's there.
Really?
At the preschool.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
Dexter's just asleep in the corner.
He's just there.
Rach and I were both like, "Oh, Dexter!"
I see you.
That's great. Ultimate science.
Yeah.
Is that what he says?
No. Extreme.
Extreme. Damn it.
You'll get
Podcast
it someday.
is canceled. I hate this.
Oh. Well, thanks for being here, everybody.
Thank you for being. Are you done in TV?
Yeah, I'm good.
Movies.
Hello, bruvna.
All right, let me check this.
No, Brett's got important messages. I'll talk to everybody. By the way, I don't know if I said it, but Jones, thank you so much for 20 months of subscribing, a 13-month streak. You know how many people were born in 13 months? At least one. Anyways, Burrito, welcome in evening. Is it evening for you? I guess it is. Good evening, bruvna. How are you out murdering is an investigation? Sounds like it is. It is. Murdering, you when you murder, it doesn't start a new investigation. It solves another one. Came into chopping weeders, eh? Susie, I'm telling you, we got crazy things going on. Susie, how are you today? Burrito, how are you? Hello, bruvna. Too many births, so much pain. Oh, that's a lot of births. In 13 months? I wonder how many people were created in 13 months. How many births? How many births happen a day? If I had a guess, across the entire world, a single day, there has to be at least 50 births. There has to be at least, right? That's probably too little. There's, how many people? 8 billion? Yeah. One born every minute. Is that a real fact? Because I know I've heard that before. Is that real? Because if that's true, how many minutes are in a day? 525,600 minutes. Is that it? Is that the real number? 520. No, that's too many minutes. That's a year. That's a year. It's a TV show here in England. One born every minute. And do you watch babies get born? By the way, did you tell Brett about Trick or Treat? I haven't yet. I'm going to show him the trailer later because we got to watch it for the podcast. It's different from Trick or Treat.
The old Trick or Treat movie?
Yeah, it's like from the 80s.
Yeah, isn't it like about some metal band or something?
Yeah, like a guy gets revived by a record being played backwards.
Oh, yeah, I read about that at one point.
Yeah, Gino showed us a trailer yesterday, and it actually looks really good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It was on some list that I found, but I have not watched. I want to say it's on Shudder.
Oh, probably. It looked like a Shudder original.
You're a Shudder.
Well, not me. My mom watches that. Sure.
Oh,
Susie, you're doing good. I love to hear it. Yeah, for today, we're just going to be doing the podcast because we have to go do a couple things after. But I appreciate you guys coming in. And, of course, if you want us to talk about anything, yell it. Yell it to your heart's content. Nice Gamma shirt. Thank you. It's the only Gamma shirt that exists on planet Earth. It's probably not true, but it's the only one I can find. Although I didn't look very hard. So, you know. Thanks, Susie. And I'm glad you're doing good. I'm too scared to watch that. The true horror show. I am too. One born every minute. I don't know. Is it a soap opera? Or is it like a medical show? Avoid it at all costs? Because I don't think we have that in the US.
Dude, what is going on?
What?
Nothing. I'll deal with it after.
Everything's going wrong. Reality TV. You'll have to let us know, Burrito, more about it.
Is it time?
I think it's time.
Sorry, I wasn't part of those responses.
No.
Dealing with weird side missions.
Brett's drunk. You watch people giving birth, do you?
What? I did that in school.
Yeah, I've seen that once, and maybe someday with my future wife. But other than that, I'm not looking. I'm not looking. Speaking of looking,
Yeah.
let's get to movies.
Dude, I've got a couple of movies to talk about.
Brett, you watched movies?
Yeah, so this one's fresh. I just watched The Birds today. I finished The Birds.
Yeah.
I started it the other day and stopped halfway through because I started my day with it.
Uh-huh.
And I watched like an hour and then I had to go do something and or maybe I just stopped it. I don't know all the details, Tim.
I mean, you're the one who watched it.
So
I wasn't
today,
there.
I finished. Have you seen The Birds?
Yes.
All right, so The Birds, Alfred Hitchcock movie. I think it was originally in black and white, but it's on Netflix as a colorized version right now.
Yeah, I think it was originally in black.
Okay.
That's the version I've seen.
Kind of wish I got to see it in black and white.
Yeah.
The colorized version was cool, but I don't know. Felt like it should have been in black and white.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
It's based on a short story by Daphne du Maurier, who is one of Rachel's favorite authors, and she tells me all the time that her books are really great, and they always have like kind of a spooky angle to them, and often have a little. Well, hang on, I'm not gonna say that. My whole thought today was when I talk about this movie, I'm gonna mention my feelings about it without spoiling what type of ending it has.
Okay.
Because all I wanted to say was I super enjoyed it.
Yep.
I love movies from that era. And it made me want to rewatch Psycho because Psycho blew my mind when I watched it.
Yes.
Which was only a few years back. But this it ended differently than I was anticipating.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like I had an expectation of what was going to happen, but I did have some theories, and it just ended differently.
That tends to happen in a lot of older movies.
Yeah.
Where I feel like just the endings, it just kind of ends. Like,
Right.
Like it's no like, I don't know. There are satisfying conclusions for sure.
Yeah.
But I just recently watched Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. Mom talks about it all the time, so it was on TV, and I was like, I'll just watch it. I'm gonna die.
Gross. Don't dare cough at me.
I won't. I went the other way. But yeah, same thing with that. It kind of like it ends, but it just kind of ends.
Yeah.
Like it's satisfying, I guess.
Sure.
But I feel like if they had like another 5 minutes to like show us where people ended up,
Yeah.
as opposed to just like assuming, okay, it's all good.
Right.
So which I mean, you know, it's good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not. It's cool to be able to formulate an ending for yourself.
Yeah.
Even if all the pieces are given to you. But with The Birds, I don't particularly remember the ending. I'll need a refresher because it's been a while.
Sounds right to me.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't remember it.
Because I feel like, because I remember most of the beats. Because the ending's not like in the house, right?
It's around the house.
Around the house.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta look it up because it's been a while since I've seen
I mean,
it.
I can just tell you after.
Yeah, right.
But I will say it's a great watch.
Mhm.
I really did enjoy it. The acting is great. I don't know. I just love movies from that era. Every time there's something comforting about watching them, I guess. What are you looking at?
Your texts keep going off.
Oh yeah. It's more about the side quest.
Great.
Text about
Side quest.
So were we recording when I got those texts originally?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, hey, we streamed the podcast.
Brett's killing me.
Oh, I'm so sorry. about that.
Yes, we are live streaming. Today's on Monday at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So don't worry about it.
Because
But
we got a bunch of plans this week.
we
have to
do
move stuff around.
We got a lot of busy things going on.
Fun
so
week.
It is gonna be a fun week.
So yeah, I definitely recommend seeing it. It's a classic. Like I said, Hitchcock, so it's worth watching to just kind of see his direction. And every Hitchcock movie I've seen, I've loved, but I really haven't seen that many.
Yeah.
There are a couple scenes, one in particular that is way more brutal than I expected. Like when I watch movies from that era, unless it's like one of those like underground like Bride of Satan movies, I don't expect anything super, you know what I mean? Like those weird like sea level horror movies that are just about like chopping people up.
Yeah, just gore fest.
Yeah. Unless it's that, I don't expect a lot of like blood and guts, but there's this one shot in particular that it's like an hour and 20 minutes into the movie, and I was like, whoa, like I did not see that coming.
Yep.
And it's a really cool moment in the movie. So The Birds is a movie, and you should watch The Birds.
I agree. There's a reason why it's a classic.
Yes.
Even if you like birds,
Mhm.
you might like them a little less.
It's possible. There's
Now-
one lady in this movie that loves birds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how she feels by the time it's over.
Well, I think birds love her too.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Have you ever seen Birdemic?
No.
That's the like super bad, like horrific.
Like a sci-fi original.
Yeah, even worse. It's like
Yikes.
you would find it at the bottom of the $2 bin at Walmart.
Birdemic.
Yeah, it's notorious for being just like it's like birds, but not.
It's a really bad play on words.
Yeah.
It's like Snowmageddon. Remember that movie?
Yeah, dude, that's a great name. I don't know what you're
It's
saying.
not.
Snowmageddon.
It's terrible.
Snowmageddon.
Carmageddon would be a good one.
Sure.
Tarmageddon, where just tars falling out of the sky.
Tar.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just saying that's better play on words than Snowmageddon.
dude, the end of all will be snow.
It won't be.
I don't know.
Another classic
Yes.
is the movie that this next movie is related to,
Okay.
because this movie is not a classic.
Okay.
Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2.
Ooh.
So I saw this movie at a time. There's a time in my life where movies were just movies. And what I
Right.
mean by that is like I didn't really have like a critical thought about them. I just went and saw a movie and I was like, oh, that was also a movie.
Yeah.
And there's one time I remember leaving a theater with someone and they were like, you just like every movie. I've never heard you say a bad thing about a movie. And that was the first time I thought like, oh yeah, I guess there are movies I don't like. I just don't know what they are.
Mhm.
Like, you revisit stuff you saw as a kid and you weren't like criticizing the
Right,
movies you were watching.
As a kid, it was just on. So you're
Yeah.
like, ooh,
Exactly.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, The Shiny. But this one, like I remember seeing and being like, okay, it was whatever. It was kind of weird, but I didn't have a lot of strong thoughts about it. We've talked about the Blair Witch Project before.
Yep.
94, I think.
Sure.
Okay. What's really interesting about these movies, Book of Shadows, Blair Witch 2, is a very bad cheese fest. And what's interesting about it is it has to be, I mean, I guess it has to have a higher budget. I was going to say it feels as low budget as the Blair Witch Project does.
I'm curious if this was so. The original Blair Witch was 1999.
Oh, okay. So I think
94.
I think the events are supposed to have taken place in
Gotcha.
94. Yeah.
Oh,
I knew it was 99.
come
Yeah.
on, because the sequel was 2000. Just 2000.
Yeah, it feels so 2000.
Yeah, I'm curious if that was because the Blair Witch was a hit. They were like, we got to make a sequel.
They smashed that out in a year.
Yeah.
Kind of feels that way.
It's,
Yeah, it's real bad. And what's so interesting, like I said, is that they're both very low budget movies. Now that I'm thinking about it, 2 probably had a bigger budget because it had major, it had a major soundtrack and all this stuff.
but that's what makes the first one so interesting is that what they did with the low budget.
Right. And what sucks about the second one is it just feels like a really bad low budget movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just kind of an interesting study to look at the two, like, oh, this is what happens when, I don't know if you would use it as like this is what happens when Hollywood gets a hold of it, but it kind of feels like that.
Yeah.
The other really interesting thing is, I'm sure most people are aware, but the Blair Witch Project, it starts with, in 1994, these kids got lost in the woods and it's sold as a documentary, essentially, like actual events.
Right.
The beginning of Blair Witch 2 is the weirdest, like, attempt to hold on to the quote-unquote reality of the series.
Mm-hmm.
And it says the following is a dramatization of actual events following the events of the Blair Witch Project. So basically what they're saying is what you're about to see really happened, but this is a movie based on those events.
And so are we supposed to take it as the context of we are watching a movie, or is it a movie within the universe that they made?
It's supposed to be a movie based on real life. Like almost a dramatization, not a documentary. But
okay.
Yeah, it's a movie. So it basically excuses why it's a movie.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the conversation had to have been had, like, how do you make a Blair Witch 2 when the first one is, like, sold as actual events?
Yeah.
And it's over.
Well, why don't they just say, like, a group of amateur, TV people went in search of it and we found the tapes again? Like,
That's what they did with Hell House,
Mhm.
and it works for them.
Yeah.
I thought. So that's how they did a sequel to Hell House. That's a great point. I mean, that's what they should have done. Essentially, what they do is it's a group of fanatics. This is the whole plot that have in the small town. And some people believe that the Blair Witch Project was real. Some people don't, and they're mad that the filmmakers used an actual town to make the Blair Witch Project, because now that town gets flooded with tourists, and there are people selling merch. You know, they're making their own stick figure witches and stuff. So that's the whole plot. And then there is this group. There's a dude who's like, I do tours for the Blair Witch Project, and then they go into the woods and strangeness starts happening. It's very bad. It's like,
is it worth watching in any capacity for like scares or cool lore or anything?
Honestly, not really.
I mean, because we have someone here in chat. Jesse says Blair Witch 2 was awful, bro.
Yeah, it's not good.
Not worth it.
I'm trying to think of anything. It's kind of boring to get through. Even the reveal of like what's happening. There's kind of a cool like I don't know. I don't even know if it's a cool.
It's just not worth it. It's better to like watch a 2-minute YouTube video of like, what's the synopsis of Blair Witch?
And because it's so inconsequential, like it's a separate story. I would recommend the Blair Witch Project, and I would recommend Blair Witch. I think the remake of Blair Witch was really cool.
So interestingly,
or no, that wasn't even a remake. It was like a continuation.
Right. The Blair Witch. It was just called Blair Witch. Right?
Blair Witch. Yeah.
Yeah. 2016. Looking here, I guess there was a TV show or a TV movie called Curse of the Blair Witch.
Really?
Which is on Freevee. But it came out the same year as the first one, 1999.
What?
And then after, there's Shadow of the Blair Witch.
What's that?
Which is also a TV movie. Oh, true crime documentary. We delve into the murder spree that was inspired for Book of Shadows Blair Witch 2. I don't know. Well, it seems like it has weird history.
Because there are like murders being investigated in Book of Shadows. Yeah. So that's connected. Maybe they just tried to build the lore more with that, but.
And then there's the game, of course, which.
I'm curious about.
Not the PC game, but the other game that came out.
Oh, the other game.
Do you know, since you've seen the movies at this point, do you know when that takes place?
I don't.
I'm curious if it, like, when it connects.
Yeah, I'm not
sure. Because I think it was early 2000s when the game's based. Yeah. I think so.
So I feel like that's after the events of the Blair Witch Project?
It's got to be then, right? Because I remember, doesn't he have a cell phone? But it's not like a smartphone. It's like a cell phone.
Yeah. Yes, because you're getting messages and stuff like that.
Right. But yeah, I'm just curious how that ties in.
I feel like Book of Shadows, other than the fact that like stuff happens in Book of Shadows that's like, oh, Blair Witchy, like this things aren't what they appear to be or aren't how they seem. And there's one cool, I don't know, it's whatever. The movie's super whatever. It's like
you spend too much time talking about it for a movie that's nothing.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're like, why?
I guess if you're interested to see, I would say, if nothing else, for the study of like, wow, these both are pretty low budget. Look how cool, like, it's another example of like, it's not what you have, it's how you use it kind of thing. Because I will still stand by the Blair Witch Project as a great achievement. Yeah. And the second one just feels like, wow, they really wanted to like keep this going, and they should not.
It didn't work. Well, they didn't do another one until 2016, so.
Yeah.
Shows it didn't do well.
I know. Not cool. But it's on Shudder if you want to watch it, and you have Shudder.
Yeah, well, great transition, because I watched a movie on Shudder.
Really?
Last night.
What?
Last night.
When's the last time you watched anything on Shudder?
Have
you ever?
A couple times.
Demon Wind?
Yeah. Demon. Yeah. So I again to continue my movie spree. Yeah. I looked up. I was like, what movies did I miss in the past couple years?
Sure.
And I just looked up like a random list of the really like highest rated movies. And so there was a bunch I've seen, a bunch that didn't look interesting, but one that popped out to me. That I was like, this could be pretty cool. It was a movie called Revenge.
Okay.
You ever hear about it?
I don't think so.
It's such a generic title, so it's like, okay, what is
maybe?
So maybe. And so it follows a traditional revenge movie.
Okay.
Which I'm not really like a big revenge movie fan.
Yeah.
Traditionally it falls like it's usually a woman who gets some kind of terrible torture happen to her and she wants revenge. Like I Spit on Your Grave and stuff like that. Those, so I don't care for them too much. So this one follows that. However, it's freaking awesome.
Really?
It takes a while. It takes a long time for it to start getting like really good.
Uh-huh.
But I say it's worth the build up.
Okay.
Essentially same idea. She goes to this secluded desert with this guy who is having an affair with her, and two of his buddies show up, and they're all creeps and do creepy things, and they attempt to get rid of her.
Oh no.
But it's not successful.
Oh.
And she comes back with revengeance.
Ooh.
Revenge and vengeance.
Vengeance.
Revengeance.
Yeah. Right. I see.
But what this movie specializes in is, instead of it being like just I feel like it focuses more on her revenge being like hunting almost. Like, so she's hunting these guys one by one, and she becomes like the murderer, the killer, if you will. But what it really does is these murder scenes are like 10 to 15 minute chases of just like her torturing these guys. And I will say it's super graphic.
I would imagine.
There you see a lot of like gross things, but I was like, by the end of it, I'm like, holy crap.
Wow.
There's so much blood. There's a what do you call it? Trivia about it, that they used so much blood that they ran out 3 times while filming the movie.
What?
3? Oh, they went over their budget with how much blood they used.
Wow.
And there's 4 people in the movie.
Yeah, what?
But seriously, like, once you're at the end, you're like, oh my god, there's so much blood.
Okay.
But yeah, I'd recommend it if you just want like a crazy gore fest.
Yeah.
It's the story itself, again, very simple revenge story, so you know, you're not there for that. But and the other thing is, it was the director's first film. I forgot her name, but I would have totally pinned it as like a director's like 20th film.
Really?
Like, it was really masterfully done.
Cool.
With really creative shots, really cool ideas. Yeah, I was really impressed. So the director, she went on to direct a couple episodes of Sandman on Netflix.
Oh, no way.
But that's all she's done so far. This came out in 2017. Her name is Coralie.
Yeah, Coralie. I don't know.
Forget. Anyways, Coralie. Yeah, but she also did something called Reality Plus before that, which I haven't seen. So, but yeah, this was on Shudder exclusive, which is weird because Shudder exclusives are also on AMC Plus and also on Amazon Prime.
That is weird.
So you can watch it.
But
wherever.
you can't, like, if you have, I don't know. It's very confusing.
Right. If you watch it on Amazon Prime,
Yeah.
you need it connected to a Shudder or an AMC Plus account.
You have to, like, get Shudder through Amazon.
Right.
Like, you can't, it's so strange.
Right.
Dude. It doesn't even make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, Revenge, pretty crazy movie that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I'll say the first like 30 to 35 minutes, I was like, I don't know why this is like considered really good. Like,
you had read that it was good?
Oh yeah, the reviews are super high for it.
Huh, okay.
I think it has 87% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Holy bananas.
On like 82 Metascore. So
That's pretty good.
That's why I wanted to watch it. I was like, this is pretty high up. Let's see.
Yeah, you started the story by saying how you were looking for movies that you would miss.
Yeah.
And then you found Revenge.
Dude, you got it connected.
I remember now. I'm following, dude.
But yeah, if you're in the mood for a little gore fest, I recommend it.
Revenge. Okay.
Did you watch anything else?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Well, I guess we can go to video games.
Okay.
Doink. Welcome back, us. And hi, everybody.
Why do people want to watch Birth?
Jesse, welcome in. Fellow Marine, I have a good chow hall for lunch. Me. All right, let's go. Oh, a fellow Marine saying it to you. Gotcha. Let's go. Oblivious, it's an officer chow hall and proceeds to get blasted. So you weren't allowed in there is what I'm hearing.
Is that how that works?
I need to see it again. I saw it in uni when I was 18. The Birth video? Hi, Susie. Hi. I'm doing good, thanks. Hope you're well. It's a passionate relationship. Blair Witch 2 was awful. First Blair Witch, the monster is actually there. The video quality for the time and the area it was filmed in and the time of day made it impossible to see.
Yeah.
In the first one, right? So, right, and that's a cool part of the first one is that you can't see anything.
Right.
Where the second one, do you see more?
Not really.
No. I feel like if you do a second one, you would want to show more.
Yeah.
If anything.
That's what the remake, or the, I don't know what you call it, the requel.
The best part of Blair Witch 2 was the drug trip scene, and even that sucked.
Oh, yeah, it was so bad. You're right, that is the best part, and it's so bad.
Ashley, welcome in. How are you today? Let's see.
Hi, Ashley.
Yeah, Brett's here. Got you folks on as I clean my room. Perfect. We want to be clean your room pals.
Yeah.
And hey, Brett, how are you doing?
Hi, Susie.
Oh, the birds.
Doing pretty well.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're doing good?
Yeah.
Life's good?
Yeah.
Are you excited for work?
A little anxious. I guess I'm excited for it to start so I can like get in the rhythm of it, you know. But this week's kind of tight. It's a good like last week off before I start.
Yep,
so.
everyone's on vacation.
Yeah.
Doing a lot of stuff. Dope.
So, but yeah, that'll be good. Got a lot of cool plans this week.
Sweet.
You know, just living.
I know I'm part of most of them.
You are. That is true.
Okay, I guess we're ready to get to the next part.
Do you have a game?
I do. First day nerves are perfectly normal. True.
Yeah, totally.
True.
That's totally what that is.
Ashley, thank you for giving points towards Chat Appreciation Week. Second player, which closest you get to seeing a monster is when one dude is being chased by some kind of zombie wolf on a bridge.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
How could you forget about zombies? You love wolves.
Well, because they're just like wolves. I don't even know if they're like
zombies.
If there's anything about them that's like creepy, it's like a quick shot, like nothing that stuck with me.
Yeah.
It's not a good movie, dude.
Ashley's scared. She's
so
like,
bad.
Ruh-roh.
All right, Video James.
Video James.
Dude.
Hey, brother.
You go first.
Me?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hello.
Welcome to the games.
Welcome.
So, less than 12 hours ago.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
12
hours ago.
Less than 12 hours ago.
Whatever,
maybe more.
Probably less. More. I don't know. I finished a game called Sonic Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Rise of Lyric.
Is it based on the Netflix show?
The show's based on the game. And it's considered one of the worst Sonic games of all time.
Okay.
Across the board, everyone's like, this sucks. This is the worst game. This makes me want to eat tax.
Oh, wow.
Not me, but just people.
Yeah, other people.
So after finishing it, I can say people just don't have fun anymore.
Really?
People just don't have fun anymore.
No way.
Now the game is not perfect in any way.
Of course.
It's definitely flawed. It definitely has its issues, but it is not even close to the worst Sonic game.
Really?
Yeah.
You would know.
I would know.
Yeah.
After playing too many, some would say, too many Sonic games.
Yeah.
I had a good time throughout. It's very much akin to like PS2 platformers.
Sure.
Similar to like Jak and Daxter.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, but not nearly, again, not as refined.
Sure.
But if that's like, yeah, there was a lot of platforming and puzzles that felt very much like that. Which is, again, a crazy comparison. But yeah, the game itself is like, the worst part about it is you can tell it had a ton of ideas and they were limited because of the console they were on. Because originally the plan was for it to be on, I believe, Xbox 360 and PS3.
Oh.
But it's a Wii U exclusive.
Oh.
Because Sega made a deal with Nintendo to release a bunch of their games on their platform.
I didn't realize it was that old.
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
okay.
So yeah, it being on the Wii U, I think it was either Xbox 360 or Xbox One, that era. But either way, it was supposed to be on other consoles that were much more powerful.
Oh.
And you can tell because the game, again, if it had like a little more time and if it was on any other console, it would have been much better than what it is. Yeah.
So, I mean, you've played games that are like unplayable bad.
Yes.
That any normal person would give up.
Right.
So, I mean, do you think just any Sonic fan should play this game?
Yeah, because I think the writing's clever. It's funny. Yep. Similar to the show.
Okay.
Where it's pretty good with its humor.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the worst because everyone gives it such a bad rap just because it's fun to dogpile on stuff. I don't think it's fun, but a lot of people like to do that. Like if something's bad, they're like, I'm not even gonna try it. It's so bad.
I don't like that either. I don't really get it.
Yeah, because it's you. And that's a big reason why I'm doing Sonic Sunday is I want to see why these games are bad and why people think they're terrible.
Or if
and
they even are.
If they even are, which I've been proven multiple times. They're no game.
They're not that bad.
They're not as bad as people say it is. Which is, a good lesson in life. Like,
I totally agree.
Don't avoid anything just because other people say it's bad or good. I mean, sometimes they're right. Don't get me wrong. I've seen things that are bad that I'm like,
watch Blair Witch 2.
Right. There you go. Listen to Brett.
That movie sucks.
But also don't listen to Brett. Go watch it. Maybe
go watch
you'll love
it for yourself. Yeah.
Life's about taking chances.
Right.
And Sonic Boom and I just pretty much followed the story. But there's side content you can do. It's pretty expansive world. Not like crazy big or anything, but for Sonic standards, a solid size.
That's cool.
Yeah, I was just I was impressed.
That's good. I mean, that's best case scenario, right?
Right.
A game that everyone says is trash and you actually have fun playing it, especially because you're committed to playing through it regardless.
Right.
So,
It better be good if I'm stuck playing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just it's a shame that people ragged on it so much.
Yeah, that was a shame.
But lesson learned.
Right.
If a game or a movie or anything people say is bad, if you really want to try it, give it a shot.
Give it a shot.
Because you might love it.
And look, you got the benefit of enjoying something
I
that
did.
other people maybe don't.
Yeah.
Because of their attitudes.
Yeah. I'm probably one of 12 people in the world who's finished the game.
That's great.
I mean, there's no way to prove that statistic, but...
No. Nobody's trying to prove it, though.
Yeah.
So literally pick a number.
Right.
And we'll roll it.
I'm the only person in the world to beat it.
That's it.
That's it.
Wow. You okay?
Yep.
I started a game on a whim the other day.
Uh-huh.
It's been sitting on my console for, I mean, literally probably years at this point.
Wow.
And I realized what I keep doing to myself is, like, if a game's on Game Pass and it's
Mhm.
been sitting on my console for a while, I should play it ASAP, because 1 week it's just going to be like, leaving soon.
But that's how you complete your best games.
Yeah, I get
is
that.
when you're against the clock.
Yeah. So this one, I have no indication that it's leaving soon, but I've been wanting to play it. I wanted to stream it. I'm probably halfway through now, but I think I will be streaming it because I love it so much. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Yes.
Dude,
Crazy.
this game is so wild, and
Mhm.
I have not loved a game this much for a long time.
Did you play with headphones?
No, but I need to.
They recommend it
I
because I didn't at first either.
Yeah.
And then I think about halfway through, I plugged it in and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
'Cause
Oh
you
my
could
god.
hear it all around
All
you.
the voices.
Yep.
Dude, so this game is so interesting because anyone who's unfamiliar, it's how would you describe the, like, culture? Is it like
Like Nordic.
it's
Like
Nordic? That's what I was gonna
yeah,
say.
because they reference like Norse gods and stuff, if I recall.
Okay, I couldn't remember which gods we're talking about, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's Hela and it's wow, seriously, every other god's name just left my brain.
Yeah, like what Thor is.
I was
And
just
Thor's
playing
Norse.
it yesterday. Oh yeah, they mentioned Loki. They
Yeah.
mentioned Odin.
Yeah.
All of the different.
Is Baldur mentioned?
Not yet.
Maybe because
but-
I was just playing Baldur's Gate. That's what's in my head. But
Yeah, and
not that it matters. I just there's like some big person she refers to a lot.
Trying to remember because they do mention like Valheim and
Mhm.
Jotunheim and like all of the places that are in the Thor. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all the same stuff. So, but what's so cool about this game is, first of all, it just like starts and you are just Senua and you're walking around and you're hearing all these different voices and there's narration and it's just you have no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of walking and storytelling, and then all of a sudden you'll be in this super intense. Dude, the first time you fight. Okay, let me slow down. So it's beautiful.
Yes.
First of all, the game looks amazing,
Mhm.
and I'm playing on an old console. But she looks incredible.
Yep.
I love her design. It's just so sick.
Mhm.
You know you're getting some backstory that's going to lead up to some. I assume I'm going to keep getting more and more of the story to find out how we got where we are. But it's so beautiful. And one thing that I find really interesting about the game is it tells you how to do nothing.
Right.
It doesn't tell you anything at all. So the first time you get in a fight, you're like, oh, there's fights? Like you don't even know.
Yeah.
And you just have to figure out the buttons.
Mhm.
And it's kind of awesome.
It's pretty cool.
And the fights are like, dude, the enemies are
Mhm.
some of my favorite enemies I fought in a game in so long.
So the developer is Ninja Theory, which
Yeah.
they did DMC.
Uh-huh.
They did what's the name of that game? It's on PS3. Heavenly Sword.
Okay.
They also
I
did
never played Heavenly Sword. I know I've played another Ninja Theory game, though.
yeah, what else did they do? Enslaved, Odyssey to the West.
I didn't play that.
What else did they do? They've done a lot, but yeah, if you played any of those, you'll be right at home because
Okay.
they are known well for their fighting systems usually.
Oh, okay.
They have some really cool, just like they usually always have cool combat, but really visually impressive games.
Bleeding Edge, Heavenly Sword.
Nope.
No?
I haven't played Bleeding Edge.
Oh. I was like, it says they did that.
What do you mean? No.
Oh, maybe I haven't played.
You must have played DMC though, right?
Oh, I did play DMC,
Yeah.
yeah, which is great.
Yep.
Um,
You might be thinking of Team Ninja,
maybe.
who did Ninja Blade. No, they didn't do that, but
They didn't.
no.
Did I play Ninja Blade?
Yeah, that was the freaking where all the gamer the achievements are all sewers. That's the achievement picture.
Oh, yeah.
and it's a million button sequences. You
Yes.
borrowed it from Daniel.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah. That game was pretty fun, though.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the fighting system's so cool and
Mm-hmm.
it's intense and it's heavy. It's like heavy fights. It's
Mhm.
slow and every blow like you feel and everyone you land feels so satisfying because it's not the easiest.
No.
By any means. It has a similar feel to For Honor.
Okay, yeah.
Some of those fights, but not quite as punishing, I feel like. What'd you find?
The screen flashed, and I think a bug just went by it. I don't know what
I
happened.
think I did see a bug.
Okay.
It's been a while since we've had a visitor on the
Yeah,
podcast.
it's true.
So, the other like key thing that would be silly not to mention is there's a disclaimer at the beginning of the game that the game has a lot to do with psychosis.
Mm-hmm.
And not only do they have a historical advisor in the development of the game, but they also have a mental health advisor. So I thought that was so cool that like this game deals with so many themes in such a, I don't know, just such a unique way. Like it doesn't have to be in the time period that it's in, and it doesn't have to deal with the subject matter that it does, but for it to be like a focus on, I don't know, I feel like you see a lot of things, a lot of stories that involve a character who's like going through some kind of like psychosis or, oh, I'm hearing all these voices or whatever. But this is like through the entirety of the game, at least thus far. And not only is that part really fascinating, like the story, but the character designs are unbelievable. The two bosses I fought so far are like, they just make me excited to see the rest of them. It's kind of like God of War. Like you fight one boss and you're like, I cannot wait to see what the next one looks like.
Right. What do they look like? What do they fight like?
Yeah. So cool. So that is on Game Pass. If you have, is that game on PC or?
Yep. It's on PC. It's on PS4. The
cool.
sequel coming out is Xbox exclusive.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. Xbox and I think PC exclusive.
Okay.
But,
Man.
yeah, because they bought Team Ninja. Microsoft
did. Interesting. That was probably a good snag.
Probably.
And that, yeah, I remember seeing that trailer at the Game Awards last year, and it looks incredible. And there are, I've gotten a one cutscene where there's, you know, I'm all about like ridiculous scale villains, and to see something that, or characters, and to see something that just towers over you and is bigger than you think you could imagine is like always the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
So Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is incredible.
It's so good. I'm glad you're playing it, and it's short if I recall.
It feels it like
only a couple hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think how long to beat clocks it at like 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah, I remember
really
it being
beautiful.
quick. So
play it in the dark with headphones on if you can.
Headphones I highly recommend.
That's the move for sure.
We had someone in chat here. Jesse said thoughts on Eternal Darkness: Sanity's Requiem, old school horror game. You ever play it?
I never played it.
It's on GameCube. It's
I can picture the cover. I've never played it.
Yeah, it's for you who likes horror games.
Yeah,
you would love it.
Really?
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, Eternal Darkness is just like this really I'd call it psychedelic, but it's like you travel through time and do a bunch of different stories trying to connect the pieces of the modern day. It's a lot inspired by Lovecraftian stuff.
Okay.
So the creatures are creepy, the sanity meter's cool. It's a very advanced
cool.
for its time.
There's a new I think Amnesia coming to Game Pass soon. And that's another one. I have that collection that I still haven't played.
I played the first Amnesia and I just couldn't get into it.
Feeling it.
But I heard they're really good, so that's what I'd like to do.
So it's a you thing.
It's a me thing, and I accept that. I accept. Yeah. So I think that's all I had in game.
The only thing I have left.
Yep.
Is a category we don't get to visit a lot. Books and comics.
Books and comics. Ooh. Let's see. Let me get caught up. I watched all the Blair Witch back in the day, except like that 5 minutes because I got too scared. Like that the last 5 minutes of the first one.
Oh man, that is pretty scary.
Yeah, that's where it picks up. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the whole thing's creepy, but I had that with Voice of Cards. It had like a 30% rating, but I thoroughly enjoyed it and completed it on stream. Heck yeah. Huh. See, that's why you stick with your heart. Yeah. Voice of Cards, I remember seeing the trailer for that. I don't really remember it off the top of my head, but
I'm unfamiliar.
Ninja Theory DMC was brilliant.
Yep.
For the longest time, I wanted my hair black hair Dante. Oh, you wanted your hair like black hair Dante?
Pretty cool.
You still could, Burrito. No one's stopping you. Just get a little bzz, and you're good.
That's it.
But I guess we're going into comics.
Oh, that's it? We're caught up?
I think so.
Right,
That's the end of the list.
So the cheap thing here is I can't really... No, I'm not going to start it like that.
Great.
There's nothing cheap here.
Dude, cheap? I want my money back.
We're high rolling.
We're high... Ooh, shake a roll.
I found out about something very cool the other day.
Okay.
And it was through an Instagram ad. They
I don't trust those.
They nailed their target audience. No, it was from it was just a comic book what's the word, outlet, like a news outlet kind of thing, right?
Okay.
So they weren't really selling anything.
Sure.
But the post showed up in my feed. Maybe it was a recommended post actually. Is that different than?
There are usually recommended posts are
they paid ads?
I think so.
Dude, you know what's so annoying now?
What?
I don't know if you've experienced this, but now paid ads show up anywhere. So if I go to your page, like Collection Revolution, and I'm scrolling through, ads will show up on your feed.
Oh, that's annoying.
It's super annoying.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
That only shows up when you're scrolling up through it, right? Like if you click on my page, it won't have random
it won't
pictures
show
in
up
there.
on your grid. But if I'm scrolling through your post, it'll randomly be like the new Evil Dead, and it'll be a full post on your feed.
Wow.
It drives me crazy because I'm so confused. I was like scrolling through a friend's thing the other day who I know through like music stuff. And it was like the new Evil Dead. And I was like, what do they have to do with the Evil Dead?
Are they working on it?
Yeah. And so
the only time an ad would be good if it's like Sonic music.
You did it.
I did it.
You did it.
Did you put the one in last week?
I didn't add music, but I did add you at the end.
Okay,
saying,
good
Sonic
enough.
music. I forgot. Yeah,
I forgot.
It's pretty great.
It's fine. I always pay for my sins.
It made for it made for a really good post credits.
Nice.
So this was super exciting to me because it's R.L. Stine.
Yep.
He's put out a new comic series recently. I actually don't know the release of the first one.
Is it Goose Bumpin', the comic book?
It's not. It's called Stuff of Nightmares.
Oh.
And it's a new comic series. And it was so cool because I read about it. I was in Manchester the next day, which is where the comic shop I like to go to, Double Midnight, is. They recently relocated. They have a bigger place now.
Oh, they're not in the same spot?
No.
Oh.
They're not far from it, but it's pretty tight. So I was going there because I had some Turtles comics to pick up.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I wonder if that book's here. They had one copy of the trade of the first. It's issues 1 through 4. It's the first story arc, and I guess he's doing multiple different stories. So I grabbed it. It's for what's so cool about it. R.L. Stine, if anyone is unfamiliar somehow, popular for Goosebumps.
Yep.
Right, author of Goosebumps, author of Fear Street. We saw the Fear Street trilogy come out. It's been 2 years now, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Kind of wild.
No, the first one was 1994, Brett.
1994, which is when everything we've talked about on this episode was released.
So that was
yeah. So it was cool seeing his name pop up again with the release of the Fear Street trilogy on Netflix. Which, if you're a horror fan, you should check those out. They're great. And this comic, what caught my eye about it is it's for mature readers. It's not like a kid's book.
Oh.
So I snagged it because there was one copy left. And all I've read so far is the foreword because I just read it the day that I got it.
Great.
And but I wanted to throw this out there because I didn't know it existed except for this little post.
I never heard of it.
And he says right in the foreword that growing up, his biggest inspirations and the things that he looked for everywhere he could was like Tales from the Crypt comics. All of those like sci-fi and horror books, you know, whatever they were always called something like, you know, Tales from the Tomb and Stories from the Grave or whatever. That was his biggest influence. So this comic is his step into that realm. And I flipped through, the art is great. I should shout out the artist too, because otherwise I'm a bad person.
Bobby Flay.
R.L. Stine with A.L. Kaplan and Roman Titov.
Okay. Titative.
I don't know how you say
Titative.
it. I apologize. But Tim, I'll show you the cover.
Oh.
Yeah. So I flipped through it. The art's great. It definitely has the vibe of those old school comics.
Yep.
With the style of art, very, very violent and brutal and gruesome.
Good.
Which I know Tim loves. So that is out there. R.L. Stine's Stuff of Nightmares. I don't know if it came out in issues. I would assume it did, but I'm gonna stick to the trades on this one.
Yeah.
I guess there's a new story coming out. I want to say it's within the next couple months. But it's definitely 2023 it'll be out. So, and that too, maybe it's just the first issue. I need to have better information, and I'm sorry, but the first full arc is out, and it looks great. And what I was gonna say at the beginning is the cheap thing is I haven't read it yet.
Right. So, but you're bringing attention to it.
I want to bring attention to it. I want to let everybody know.
Right.
Put it on your radar. I'm gonna read it.
You know what's interesting with comics is they come out monthly, but I feel like I'm always like 20 comics behind.
Yeah.
Like no matter like with Alien, I think they come out monthly, right? It's not every 2 weeks.
Typically, yeah.
Yeah. Like Alien, like I've been getting issues of Alien. And I guess I've been getting them for like 2 years because I think I have like 15 issues to
Isn't
read.
that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is when you put so like Turtles is up to issue like I think 140 or something. It
Yeah.
could even be higher than that. So it's like you do the math on one per month.
Mm-hmm.
How many years has that been coming out?
I've got a lot.
It's so many. And what's
Right.
crazy is I remember going to get the debut issues, and it's weird to think
Yeah.
back.
And they have like spin-off issues and stuff. Like I
Yeah.
know Alien again, that's like the one I've been getting. I've been getting Sonic, Alien, and I think that's it actually. I just get those monthly. They just show up
Yeah.
in the mail. I'm like, okay, cool.
Pretty tight.
Yeah, it's really cool. But yeah, I since we're talking comics, I finally finished a series that I've been meaning to get back to and I just never did. Called The Rise of Ultraman.
Oh yeah.
I may have talked about it on the podcast before.
No, you've had it in the notes for a minute.
For a long time.
Yeah, maybe you talked about it when you first started reading it.
Maybe, yeah, because I read the first 2 issues. There's
Yeah.
5 total. It's a it's a mini series, produced or put out by Marvel.
Yeah.
And it essentially is just an origin story for Ultraman.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool because as far as I know, like Ultraman stuff is not super popular here in the US.
Yeah.
Like we've had a couple shows on Netflix, I think. There's been movies and stuff, but like
There was a Super Nintendo game that I played the crap out of.
Super Nintendo. See, like I didn't even know there was
Dude,
one.
you need to find it. I don't
Yeah.
know if it's still good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just kaiju battles.
Yeah, and
basically.
who doesn't like those?
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a cool little. I think it's because they didn't really do like a full series
Yeah.
for Marvel, so they did this origin one, and then they did a sequel series to the origin to continue that story.
Interesting.
But I don't think they did like an official series.
Huh.
But these are a couple years old now, so maybe they have done one since.
Yeah.
I gotta look into it. But yeah, it was really cool. The characters were introduced in a pretty interesting way.
Yeah.
Ultraman essentially is an alien who is like dying. He crash lands on Earth. And he has to combine with this human who is also gravely injured, and they keep each other alive and have to live with
That's
it.
cool.
Yeah, he's like and the point of Ultraman is to see if Earth is worthy of being saved or not.
Oh.
And so they have this running what would you call it, like infestation of kaiju that randomly appear on the planet, so they have to go and stop them through their organization and stuff.
love that.
Yeah, it was a really neat story. And it makes me want to go and watch more Ultraman stuff.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if his origin is like easily found
Right.
anywhere, like if you can just find like if it's in the first movie, I don't know.
Sure.
But it was a cool medium to have like the origin for this character.
Do you know if it was a movie originally?
Ultraman?
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay.
I know Japan has a ton of them, similar to Godzilla and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Long running series, but I just don't know what we got in the US.
Has there been an Ultraman versus Godzilla?
There must have been.
Right?
Or they work together to kill something else.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dude, what if Ultraman shows up in the current MonsterVerse?
Do they have Jet Jaguar?
Yeah.
Because Jet Jaguar is similar to Ultraman.
Right.
Where it's just like a super human thing.
Right.
I don't
forget.
think if if he was there, it would have been in War of the Monsters, the second Godzilla.
King of the
movie.
Monsters.
King of the Monsters.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah,
You're welcome.
it would have been in the second one if anything. But, yeah, I don't know.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
But you'd recommend the comics?
yeah, they're pretty cheap. They have again, it's 5 issues. The run's finished years ago. So, but yeah, cool art, cool battles.
And it's called what?
The Rise of Ultraman.
The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes, exactly.
Cool. Did I tell you about the action figure joke in Rise?
No.
Dude, we've been watching Rise.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this one moment where I forget what they're trying to do. There's something scary going on, and one of the turtles has to go first to, I think it's a portal.
Okay.
And like Raph goes through the portal, and they're like, we don't know if he's alive or whatever. And Donnie goes, Leo, since you sell the least amount of action figures, I think you should go first. And it's such a funny, it's so funny because it's probably accurate.
Yeah, you think Leo sells the least?
I don't know.
I think Donatello does.
What? No
Yeah.
way. Donnie's a crowd.
No
fave.
one wants the nerd.
What?
What?
What, dude?
Nope.
I don't know. I feel like
I guess you're probably the dual swords though.
I know. I have a lot of Leo action figures.
I got something
Do you have any turtle stuff?
over there.
What? You can't turn that
Yeah,
way.
you can't turn. It's not allowed.
You can't turn.
The other thing, since we're last thing in comics and
Mhm.
books and comics, IDW announced a crossover between Ninja Turtles and
Street Fighter?
Street Fighter. Was that what it was?
I mean, that's
There was
that's happening.
Transformers? Has that happened before?
That I'm unaware
Okay,
of.
it might have been Transformers. I couldn't remember.
What?
Yeah, which at this point, they've done a crossover with everything except Sonic.
Dude, if that happened.
It has to at this point. Let me look it up. I saw it. I didn't mean to talk about it, so I didn't prepare, but TMNT
I'm gonna sneeze.
IDW. Yep, do it. So at this point, Turtles have crossed over. Let's see. Stranger Things. That's what it was.
What?
Ninja Turtles and Stranger Things.
So, okay, what's super weird is there's been a Turtles Stranger Things toy run. When is that happening?
I don't know. Look at the cover art's pretty dope though.
Dude, shut up. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to read that too?
You guys can't see it. But yeah, at this point, I just don't understand why the Ninja Turtles are crossing over with so many things.
Well, because they can.
Because they can.
Now, IDW's done other crossovers. There was like there's been I want to say Godzilla and Transformers.
Yep.
G.I. Joe and Transformers, I think, was one of the big crossovers.
Yeah.
And
Power Rangers and Godzilla, didn't that happen?
that may have.
But that's all under IDW, right?
Yeah.
They're freaking crazy.
Crazy, yeah. And then Boom is another one that's done a lot of crossover stuff.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. The Turtles are so like you can kind of cross them over with anything
I guess so.
because they're so. It's like I don't know, action and sci-fi.
Yeah.
You can do anything. Like I think a lot of people. I won't say forget, but I don't know if a lot of people realize how sci-fi that Turtles world is.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it, that especially in the original books, like it's basically like a ninja revenge story for a couple issues, and then there's alien triceratops.
Yeah, it
and, like,
happens real
robots.
quick.
It happens so fast. So, but I don't know, man. That's pretty wild. I was talking to a dude at the comic shop actually about how good the Turtles and Batman crossover was.
Yep.
And the Turtles and Power Rangers one. And I said, like, I kind of caught myself. I was like, it was surprisingly good. And he was like, I'm not even surprised anymore. And I realized, like, I have this thing in my head. Like, there were a bunch of crossovers in the 90s. Spider-Man, Batman, Spawn, Batman.
Yep.
Lots of Batman stuff.
Marvel versus DC.
Yep, Marvel versus DC. And they felt a little bit novelty. Like, the stories weren't anything incredible. And I think there's something in my brain that's like, when they do these crossovers, I'm expecting it to be a little bit of a cash grab.
Yeah.
And I don't even know necessarily what that means, but that the story might not be anything amazing.
Mm-hmm.
But they're so good in these recent books. And I think there's only one. The Batman crossover happened 3 times. There's 3 different full story arcs. And the Power Rangers one, dude, banger.
I gotta read.
So good.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the second one came out, but yeah, Turtles and Street Fighter crossover comes out, I think, within the next couple months.
Freaking crazy.
I know. It's real cool.
Yeah, it is real cool.
Dude, Turtles came back so hard.
They're still coming back hard. Got a new movie coming out.
I gotta figure out. I got a tattoo appointment in December. I gotta figure out what to fill that little spot with.
Chicken nugget, but in the shape of a Ninja Turtle.
With a mask on.
Yeah.
A yellow mask.
Oh.
No, wait. I think Jenica's yellow.
Yeah. What's her name? Venus?
She's just light blue.
That's it?
Yeah.
Lame.
Like we already had a blue one.
Yeah.
They run out of colors.
I think there's a lot of colors out there.
So many colors. I'm done, dude.
Okay.
You done?
Well, I guess that's it.
Heck yeah.
Last podcast forever.
Forever, dude.
Forever.
Until next week.
Right.
You guys are the coolest. Thank you for hanging out with us. This has been episode number 243 of the Keep Up Podcast. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at the Keep Up Podcast. Go check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thekeepup.
Mm-hmm.
Chat, throw in a couple words that I can throw at Tim for end babble.
Random words, whatever you want us to say.
Whatever's on your brain.
Yes.
Tim, tell everyone where they can find your other work.
You guys can find me at Collection Revolution on Instagram, on TikTok, on Twitch. That's where we are right now.
Yep.
On YouTube, and you can find me on Twitter at Collect Revo. Because again, my name is false. It's a lie.
Lie, dude.
And Brett, where can everyone find you?
Oh my gosh. Listen, guys, I stay busy doing stuff. You know what I mean? So I have some new music coming out. I rap under the name Animatronic. If you're unfamiliar, that'll be out probably I'm hoping within a month or so. I play for a band called Chasms. We should have some new stuff coming out. I stream spooky games at Brett in the Dark, and I have another podcast that I actually haven't recorded a new episode in a minute.
Do it.
That one's not on any schedule. I can do whatever I want.
You're right.
I say all that to let you know you can find it all at This Drink I Like It on Instagram. I have them all linked there. That's my personal one. You can find me. So yeah, go hang out there with me if you'd like. And what else? I don't know. Is that it?
I think that's it.
That's all the stuff. Tim's gonna do what's called End Babble.
Right.
If you haven't left us a review on iTunes too, feel free to do that, or Apple Podcasts, or however it works. That'd be great. I was reading one today, and someone gave us a solid 7.5 out of 7.5.
Hey,
it's not a rating system on there, but that's what they said we are.
I'll take it.
So, I mean, that's 100% awesome.
Yeah.
Tim.
Yes.
Your theme for End Babble is Wobble Dobble Corn.
Wobble Dobble Corn.
Hey, man.
That's what chat shows.
I don't make the decisions around here. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next week. Bye.
The wobbly dobbly is an ancient creature, lost by time, lost by history, lost by the events of time. It is a creature tall. It is a creature long. It is a creature that loves corn. And so if you find yourself with corn in your pocket, the wobble double will come and steal it. So don't put buttery corn in your pocket. Keep it somewhere safe. Keep it classy. Keep it on your table, and the wobble double won't visit you in your dreams. But if you want him to, leave a piece of corn on your window and close it halfway, so the wobble double may steal the piece and leave you a treat, a wobble doubleopolis, a delicious snack. And so I'll leave you with this. Fake or real, animals should be protected. Wobble Dobble or your neighborhood cat that runs around but doesn't have a home. Whatever it is, protect it. Animals are endangered, and you soon will be too if you don't help them. Thank you. We did it! Let's get caught up here. Also, Johnny, I apologize. The Whopper song is shut off for the podcast, so I can refund you those points. Just because, we post the VODs, and if we have the Whopper song, it's a weird thing. But just know it's good when it works. I remember playing Eternal Darkness and freaking out because of the hallucinations of it changing my video input or turning my volume up. Yeah, that's what's so cool. It's unfortunate it doesn't apply as much today because our TVs are more modern and we don't have like the video output and the green volume across to give us that indication. But it was still a really cool concept. 1994, what a great year to be to live in. It seems kids start playing the first Doom hikers. What? Start playing the first Doom. Hikers find black magic and disappear. Serial killers on the prowl. Monsters lurking in the dark. What a great time to be alive. Sounds lovely. That was before I was born. A year before I was born. Brett, how was 1994 for you?
So that was the year the Blair Witch Project came out.
Right. Officially.
No, it's totally not. 94.
Do you remember anything specific? It was a year before I was born, so life didn't really
What grade are you in when you're... Yeah, I don't remember anything before Tim was born. What grade are you in when you're 7?
First. Maybe second.
Rough year.
First grade? Rough year?
No, it was all right.
Yeah.
I met this kid named Scott. He was cool.
What did he do?
He just talked to me.
Oh, that's all we want in a friend, really.
He wasn't mean.
Good. 1994. Man's expelling his demons with that sneeze. Brett's got a big sneeze.
It's true.
I got a pretty big one too, but Batman x Scooby Gang, best crossover.
Oh, that was the animated movie, right?
They did a movie, but they also did the they just had him on the old TV show where they would have guest stars and they had Batman and Robin.
Oh, right.
But maybe he's talking about the movie. There might have been a comic too.
I still want to read Apocalypse, Scooby-Doo Apocalypse.
Oh yeah. Did that have a short run? Do you know?
I don't know. I think so. I think it was a mini.
Young Games coming in with Love Keep Up. Dude, thank you so much.
Thank you.
For loving us.
Thank you.
Let's see. So Tim, how soon will my command be live? Sometime this week. I still have to do Young's and I still have to do Bales. But yours is already all set up, so it should be easy. The other ones I still have to figure out what I'm gonna do, but also I hope you're feeling better, Tim. Thank you, Gino. Yeah, I'm right at the end of it. Right at the end of the sickness. So But thank you.
Come on, get down with the sickness.
Get up. Come on, get down with the sickness. And Chino, thank you for giving points towards the Chat Appreciation Week. But yeah, you should see yours as soon as tomorrow, if not the day after. What am I doing? Tomorrow's Tuesday?
Tomorrow is Tuesday, yes.
Wednesday, we're doing stuff with Jazz.
Correct.
Right. So tomorrow, it should be up.
That is correct.
That is correct. But we do have a couple more things we got to do, so we must sadly depart. But I appreciate everyone coming out for this early Monday afternoon stream. How'd the Crash game go yesterday? By the time I got back, you were offline. The Crash game, it's okay. It's nothing to be like excited for. They really should make it free to play because it feels just a lot like a lot of modern multiplayer games. If you like Crash a lot and you enjoy like battle passes and like cosmetics and stuff like that, it's got, from what I could tell, it got a good amount. But yeah, their maps, there was only a couple, a handful of characters, so it's cool. But I think you really got to be deep into multiplayer games to really get the most out of it. But I feel like it should be free to play. I think that'll be its biggest tragedy, is it's a free to play type game that goes for $40. So I do hope they eventually make it free to play. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's okay. Nothing special, unfortunately. But yeah, you could always check out the VOD if you wanted to see the gameplay too. But I would say, unless you're a big fan, pass. Young, thank you for giving points towards the Chat Appreciation Week. And again, I appreciate everyone being here. So I will be back tomorrow at our normal stream time, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll be playing our next mod appreciation game, which I don't know what I'm going to play yet. Oh, I might do yours. I might do Brett's tomorrow.
Do it. That's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, that one's going to be a good time. So be here tomorrow, and I'll post my schedule on Discord, on Instagram, and you can check it out on my Twitch page as well. If you check my schedule, I'll do that later tonight. And with that, we're going to raid.
Yeah.
So here, take that.
I'll be back.
Yes, Brett's going to go do whatever he's going to do.
Thanks for stopping by, gang.
Yeah, thanks everyone for being here for the Keep Up podcast. And we'll be back on Thursday for the Keep Up next Thursday. Next Thursday for the Keep Up podcast again. One more thing, what's his Twitch? Oh yeah, let me give Brett a shout out because he plays horror games and he's great. Gino, you were super close, by the way. It's SO and then @ and then you got to type in the name. Brett in the dark. There we go, and then doink. So yes, there's Brett's Twitch channel. I don't know, he didn't say what time he's streaming this week. So we'll see what time he decides to jump on. But I think he's playing more Silent Hill is what he decided. So is Tichu on? Yo, we're gonna raid right into Tichu, make it easy, make it cheesy. But everyone, thanks for being awesome. I'll be back tomorrow. And yeah, it's all good times. So be crazy for Tichu. He is doing some Pokemon art, which he tends to do every Monday. Sometimes Tuesdays, I believe, too. But yeah, that's all we got. So stay beautiful, stay hungry, and eat cactus. Safely. Bye. Da 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 do 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 do.